Even in an administration rife with incompetence, Trump's Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is putting on full display why a reality TV actor probably shouldn't be in charge of our nation's transportation sector.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Tonight we're going to look at a video that I ran across that talks about Trump and his administration and all the stuff that he's doing with the TSA and the air traffic controllers and everybody he's trying to fire. He had a lot to say about Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, and the terrible job he kept claiming that they would do. Now his ass is being brought up front through the ringer, and I don't think enough people are talking about it. So I'm going to talk about it some. Hopefully other people will start talking about it some. I want people to start talking about it so much. I want to make these Republicans cry. I do. I want him to cry. I want his vice president to cry. I want his secretaries to cry. Everybody that he brought into office, I want them crying and walking away in shame. I want the Republicans to cry. And I want every Democrat that keep talking for the Republicans, I want them to feel bad. I want everybody to feel like their job is on notice for the new 2026 year. Any kind of upcoming election, I want them to have a feeling that they're going to lose their job and possibly go to jail. That's what I want them to feel. I don't want all this stuff documented, because the word, I'm a believer in the word, says that the reward of the wicked, you're going to be able to see it. So I'm here for that. They messed up Kamala's victory. They lied on her. And I'm a progressive, right? The thing about me is, and then we'll get into the video. I just want to explain something to people that don't know how to vote. Okay. You get in the booth, because I was like this at one point, and then it was like years ago. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, why would I vote for somebody that's not going to get me closer to what I want? So if I want to get in this direction, if I want to go that direction, right? If I want to go that direction, why would I vote somebody that's going in that direction? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go there. I want to go over here. So even if the person that I'm voting for is a little bit going in the same direction that I'm going in, that's the person I need to be voting for, because I can argue with those people. I can try to cajole them. I can try to push them in the direction more of what I want them to do, rather than having to start over from scratch with people that I know have nothing in common with what I want to do, right? So my message to all you broke ass people out there, all you broke white folk that you think you're doing is going to do so much better than everybody else, you're not. You're in the same boat that we in. You thinking you harming us is doing you some good. You ain't learned that yet, and that baffles me. You didn't learn it back during the Civil War days. You didn't learn it before then. You didn't learn anything. You didn't learn shit, and I'm baffled at your ignorance. You don't know how to vote for your own interests. Nothing is wrong with socialist type programs like Medicaid, Medicare, Obamacare. Same thing as Affordable Care, by the way. Nothing is wrong with those kind of programs, because social programs means that this there to help everybody, right? So stop with the poverty mentality and get on board with working with people that's trying to get benefits for you, okay? That's all I want you to do. If you don't know how to vote, maybe you guys are the one that should stay home the next time. Stay off the internet, because you're not owning nobody. Because what's going to happen is, Every time you get on the internet, somebody's gonna record you and then run that, spin the block on you, and show you crying, because that's what you're gonna end up doing. They're gonna show you crying along beside you using all those. I voted for Trump. We doing this, that, and the third. Oh, Trump took all my money. Trump did this. I ain't got no job no more. I can't work. All of that stuff is your fault. Nobody cares. And now he's messing with your transportation. You can't go see Mima if you're sitting on the side of the road, or if you're sitting in an airplane on the was it? Is it tarmac? On the tarmac for forever. If the plane can't get off the ground, you can't do none of that stuff. So stop being so prejudiced. Vote for the black lady the next time, because a black lady's gonna spin the block. We gonna come back again. Okay, so but vote for the black lady. Vote for the black people, because if it's good for us, then it's gonna be good for you. That's all you gotta remember. Vote for putting high taxes on businesses and on Trump and on all the billionaires, because it used to be. Did you know that they had a tax rate over 50% on their wealth at one time? Do some reading, go back in history, and see that everything worked out just fine. You get screwed over and taken advantage of when you're thinking that you're on the same level as them. You're not. You're not up there with the big boys. They want to use you in order to help get what they want, and then they still oppress you. You should see this. Anybody that voted for Trump should look at what's going on right now. And if you have bad memory, take a video of it. Break out your old VCRs, use your cell phone, whatever you got to do in order to keep all of this stuff available so that you can see it the next time. Do something, write it down or whatever. Then I want you to take that same energy that you use to try to vote against black people and go down to your local, wherever you got to go, uh, and tell them that it ain't gonna work right now. But I want you to have your mind on trying to recall people, or at least in the next election, to vote them people out. Okay? Because we're gonna do an impeachment on Trump again. So get used to that idea. Go ahead and get it in your mind. Breathe through it. Trump is gonna be impeached again. Come on, I say it again. Trump is gonna be impeached again because he don't know how to run shit. Okay? He done been bankrupt 6 times or 7 times. He's a 34 count felon. He's uh, a disaster. Let's just say he's a disaster. So let's get into the video, because you done got me heated.
Just today, it was reported that a Delta plane coming from Minnesota landed upside down in Toronto, as you can see from this image right here. And while this was all under the jurisdiction of the Transport Canada Civil Aviation, the TCCA, which is the Canadian equivalent of the FAA.
Yeah, this is in Canada, but it still shows that anything associated with the Trump administration is, I don't know.
FAA, this crash puts a particular focus on the raft of other airline crashes and collisions that have completely rocked Americans' trust in air travel. Here's a quick timeline of what happened leading up to this spate of crashes. On January 20th, Trump and Elon Musk pushed out the FAA administrator. They never bothered naming a replacement.
Did you hear that? Trump and Elon Musk. So again, we have to claw back Elon Musk money. He cheated y'all that bought the Cybertruck, right? The Cybertruck was supposed to be super cool, super this, super that. You didn't get none of the stuff that you thought you was gonna get with the truck. And now you still running around in a big triangle thinking that you cool. You're not. People are laughing at you. People are laughing behind your back and probably in front of your face. and you out there running into people, take that truck and them cars back over there to Tesla, because guess what? If you don't make the payment, they gonna self drive themselves back to the dealership anyway. So go ahead on, turn them in and say, you know what? I didn't get what I was promised with this vehicle. I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna get my money back one way or the other. Do a class action lawsuit on them. You know, I want Elon to realize this is not South Africa. Okay, so do what you need to do in order to put Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Vance, and Johnson in their places, and all the other Republicans that supported the insurrection and that supported all of this stuff that's going on now. They'll tell you that they didn't support it, but they didn't vote against it either. So y'all got problems on y'all hands. You do. Conservatives have a lot of problems on their hands. MAGA, you have a lot of problems on your hands. And you need to use that same energy that you used to put Trump in office to get him out of office. Starting today. Let's hear some more about this crash and all these other crashes that's been happening.
Also on January 20th, Trump implemented a federal hiring freeze, which included air traffic controllers. That's important because we would eventually come to find out that the crash involved one air traffic controller doing the job of that would normally require two people after the DC flight crashed.
You remember that back in the day when the air traffic controllers, they were all stressed the hell out, and then they all just quit, and then won't nobody flying nowhere, because you can't just put somebody off the street trying to tell airplanes how to land. Okay, I wouldn't trust Elon Musk and his team to build nothing, because all he's ever done, as far as I can tell, he never really created. A lady got up there the other day, said he never created nothing. All he did was buy stuff. You know, he talks a good game and then he buys stuff. He's not doing okay. When he bought Twitter, he broke it. Now it's X. Nobody's on it platform that really matters anymore. When he bought Tesla, he's being investigated by several governmental agencies. That's why they're trying to shut him down, because they want to know why his cars keep crashing. I think I saw a couple of them that might have been on fire. You know, when you go through the YouTube videos, you'll see all that stuff that goes on. And what else? Oh, and the rocket crashed. So everything he touches seems like is disastrous. Same way everything Trump touches seems like it turns to a disaster. So y'all can sit around and act like Trump is your hero if you want to. But just like the first term where a lot of people ended up in jail, a lot more of y'all are going to end up in jail. And I'm here for it. I'm here to see you go to jail.
On January 21st, Trump disbanded the Aviation Security Advisory Committee and fired the TSA director. On January 22nd, Trump's White House posted that President Donald J. Trump ends DEI madness and restores excellence and safety within the Federal Aviation Administration. Sean Duffy was then confirmed as Transportation Secretary on January 28th, and that's when things started going downhill fast. On January 29th, we had the first commercial plane crash in 16 years in Washington, D.C. On January 31st, a Learjet crashed in Philadelphia. On February 5th, a Japan Airlines plane struck a Delta flight on a runway in Seattle. On February 6th, a Bering Air flight wrecked in Nome, Alaska. On February 10th, a plane crashed in Scottsdale, Arizona. On February 12th, a military fighter jet crashed in the San Diego Bay.
All of these planes are crashing under the Trump administration. Donald J. Trump is in charge now. He has only been in office, other than the 4 years that he already trashed everything and everything went to hell in a handbasket. 3 weeks and all of this bullshit is falling apart. You can't blame this on Joe Biden. You can't blame this on Kamala Harris. Can't blame it on Pete Buttigieg, because as long as they were in office, planes flew, people were getting money to help out with different programs. Everybody was happy. Soon as Donald Trump gets into office, he's firing people. He's firing everybody. Elon Musk coming in. They firing everybody. Now all of this stuff is happening. You know why? Because ain't nobody there that knows what the hell they're doing in order to control anything. That's why.
And on February 16th, a plane crashed in Covington, Georgia. At this point, Americans should probably consider traveling by boat, considering this administration can't seem to keep planes in the air. But surely, given all of these problems, the Trump administration is scrambling to rectify the situation, right? Not so much. Hundreds of FAA employees were let go this weekend as planes are colliding on a near daily basis, stretching the remaining employees even more thin than they were before. And I should remind you that the DC crash over the Potomac.
I'm going to show you that again. Hold on. Let's look at that again. It says hundreds of FAA employees. Y'all go ahead and screenshot this if you need to. Hundreds of FAA employees are let go as Trump's mass layoffs continue. He's putting everybody out of work. So if people don't have jobs, how you gonna buy stuff? See, this is why he's a disaster. Doesn't think. He's a bullshitter. He don't think about nothing but himself. He need to be paying them people that he owe money to. The Ruby lady, the lady that he grabbed was groping. He need to pay her money. No, I think Ruby need to be paid by Rudy Giuliani. But anyway, the courts are out of hand too. He shouldn't be having this kind of leeway and not pay his bills to the lady that he owes money to. We need new judges. We need new judges. We're going to get rid of the whole 9 or 6 people that's on the Republicans or the conservatives that are on the Supreme Court. Need to kick them out. So let's come up with a plan while I'm pausing right here in the video. So we got Democrats running around not knowing what to do. They said they don't know what the plan is. So here's the plan. The plan is, as soon as Democrats, or as soon as progressives and their Democratic friends, because I'm wholeheartedly behind progressives. Democrats don't got enough backbone for me. So what I want Democrats to stop doing is trying to claim progressive ideas and then not know what to do with them. I need them people like Chuck Schumer. Get out in front of the camera, Chuck. Go back to your office. You can strategize from there if you are a strategist like people say that you are. So Chuck Schumer, stay out of the way. Nancy Pelosi, stay out of the way. Y'all find a way of replacing Jim Clyburn. I don't want to hear nothing else from Jim. See, y'all giving Jim a pass, Clyburn. I gave him a pass once he got Joe in the office. Okay. So he talked hard against the other people that probably could have did a better job. Even though his state, he should have been concentrating on South Carolina, which is just about last in education and everything else. And he had 40 years to do something about that. But when he told Joe Biden he should pardon Donald Trump, I saw him on the Django. That's all I'm gonna say. That's for some reason he looked like the guy that was on the Django. So nobody's really questioning Jim Clyburn as to why he wanted Joe Biden to pardon Donald Trump. That should be a question that comes up every time somebody sees Jim Clyburn from now on until he leaves office. Certain people you need to make cry. Certain people you need to hound them so much because of the bullshit that they say that they just gonna cry. Just like them people that get on the internet and they think they are saying something that's gonna harm black people or that they trying to own somebody, and then the internet drags them across the whole of the internet until they come back crying. "Oh, y'all stop bullying me." Okay, Jim Clyburn is one of them people. Y'all need to ask him on every interview. So why was it that you wanted Joe Biden to pardon Donald Trump? Mm-hmm. So when are you retiring? Your questions like that. Ask him questions like that. Because it makes no sense to me as to why anybody would want to pardon Donald Trump. Yeah, that's. So let's get back to this. Donald Trump says that the Trump administration fired hundreds of employees with the Federal Aviation Administration over the weekend, just weeks after the fatal crash over Washington, D.C. That's the one that he was talking about, the DEI and everything like that. Didn't hear him come back and apologize. At least I did. So, yeah, him and J.D. Vance always got something to say to start something, but they don't come back and correct the errors, do they? They don't come back and do what they need to do. And I want the press people to also grow a backbone. Because the press, from what I've seen, the White House press, they sitting down like they little kids listening to a library story every time they go to the White House. And it's disgusting. You know, it ain't that serious, people. You don't have to go to the White House. You can do like everybody else that keeps their integrity and everything intact. You know, you can ask them hard questions and then you can move on. If they want to kick you out of the White House, fine. I'm not calling it no Gulf of. I'm calling it the Gulf of Mexico. That's what I know it to be, the Gulf of Mexico. And then I wouldn't worry not one bit about not going back to the White House as long as they're in office. You know what I would do? I'd sit there and watch TV or just read. And I'd say, looks like the Trump administration is going and destroying everything. And if enough reporters just sat there and looked at what their eyes was doing or was showing them, and they would research and read that way, they would beg y'all to come back to the White House. Please come. We want to talk to y'all about this. We want to talk to y'all about what's really going on. They just send out a press briefing. As long as the press briefing is correct, as long as it's truthful, we'll report it that way. If it ain't truthful, then we'll find that out too. And that's what you do. You make them come to you. You don't have to go and run to them. We're the White House. Where are the white hat hackers? We need y'all, man. I don't see why y'all ain't already showed up. You know, I thought that was a badge of honor for you guys to come in and correct stuff. He's tearing this stuff apart. He's firing everybody they can get their hands on. And it's sad. But anyway, I done jumped off of the subject.
Stretching the remaining employees even more thin than they were before. And I should remind you that the DC crash over the Potomac involved one air traffic controller in a job that would normally require 2 people. Cutting these jobs is a matter of life and death for people who are traveling the skies. Only the Trump administration and this clown car cabinet he assembled don't seem to care. Why? Because Elon would rather haphazardly cut costs, even if doing so means that more and more Americans die. At this point,
Bro, he's not cutting costs, okay? He is underfunding crucial functions of the government. It's not the same. So I like his reporting. I like some of his stuff that he puts out. I like some of his shows. He's not cutting costs. They are underfunding crucial governmental functions. And that, my friend, is a dereliction of duty. It is them not doing what they're supposed to do. It's them. Um, that's an impeachable offense, as far as I'm concerned. If you can't take care of the American people, which is one of the jobs as president, uphold the Constitution and carry out the laws faithfully, which you have done neither, it's time for you to go, Donald. You just got there. I hope you didn't unpack your shit, because you're not going to be there long. You're not. It's time for you to go, bud. It's time for you to go. Okay, go ahead, guy.
Why have air traffic controllers at all? Think about all the money that we could save. And
Yeah. But see, I go along with what he just said, kind of, sort of. But what I want people to do is I want people to be defiant. Because with all of this stuff going on, with them wanting to get rid of the Department of Education and stuff, I want the people that are in these different organizations to keep your skills intact. So let's say, for instance, they do get rid of the Department of Education. Then you guys become a .org. Okay, just say, okay, we're going to be the education.org. And then y'all bide your time. You still have information there for people, for schools, and people that's willing to do right until we get Trump impeached or whatever, so that we can still have a functional government. Because if you become a .org and all of the people that got fired become part of that co-op or cooperative, again with the cooperatives, then Trump and them can't really tell you nothing, because you're operating as a private organization at that point. And then when a functional administration takes back over the government, their job at that point is just to fund you. They may have to fund you at a previous year, but at least you guys are going to have, um, what do you call it? You would be able to operate because you are still in the loop. You're still doing the functions that you were supposed to be doing when you were part of the regular government. It would be like, it's not called cohesiveness, it's called something else. It's like a continuation of your functions, even though you're not part of the regular government. That's with organizations that are important, but at the same time, you are essential in a way, but it's like you can still function at a different level. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, until you can get funded again, you will still be able to give out the um, edicts and the rules and the regulations and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess that's what you would have to do. So I don't know what to tell the air traffic controllers. I mean, because you still couldn't control, you wouldn't have access to your equipment or landing the planes and stuff. I guess it would. You might be right about that, bro. Just tell everybody to just don't go to work. If he gonna sit around and cause them to not be able to function as they should be able to, yeah, don't go. Just ground all the planes.
granted, that'll just get funneled into SpaceX and Tesla at some point, but hey, at least Doge can tweet about waste, fraud, and abuse and get some likes on Twitter, and frankly, what's more important than that? And in case you were wondering what our transportation secretary was doing during all of
What I'm really disappointed in is the court systems. They're losing credibility. They're losing a lot of credibility, and the FBI and the CIA. You would think they would have a secondary plan up their sleeve, but I tell you when it all started. It all started when Merrick Garland didn't do his damn job. He just tried to fade off into the sunset, didn't he? Merrick Garland. Didn't try to push nothing as far as the civil rights. Didn't try to go and look into any kind of voting information. He didn't do shit. I'm glad he was never a Supreme Court judge. Never. I hope he never becomes a Supreme Court judge. Now, I tell you who I do want to come back. I want Eric Holder to come back. So the next functional administration needs to have Eric Holder back in some kind of position that will give him movement on a national level. So either like Attorney General again, like he was before, or give him some kind of position to where he can go out here and make some things work and put some things back in order. But that's not about this video. I'm probably going to stop this in a few minutes. I want to put a link into this video so that you can go and watch the whole thing. I just basically kind of wanted to discuss some of the stuff that he's talking about here, because all of these firings that Donald Trump noticed that he's trying to keep his hands clear of it. Like he's not the one in charge. The buck always stops with the president, right? So him pretending that he has nothing to do with it is the most cowardly, I can't even think of the other words, but it's the most shady thing that a president could do. Act like somebody else is doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not running the country, and they voted for him. That's what's funny. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy work right there.
All of this? Well, here's a video he posted yesterday.
All right, we're about to get on Air Force One. I got Patrick and John Paul. There's just the back end of it. Heading up to Daytona for the 500. Suit and tie, beautiful day. Hope the rain stays out. But these guys, first time Air Force One, the president is about to get here, so we're going to get on, get rolling on Daytona. About 30-minute flight, 25-minute flight. It's going to be great. Oh, there's Patrick. He's jumping. All right, see you guys later.
Just so we're clear, while planes are colliding or crashing on a near-daily basis, what the Transportation Secretary is doing is joyriding on Air Force One to go watch the Daytona 500. Now, one might think that the guy in charge of our nation's transportation might, I don't know, give a shit that air travel is becoming more and more dangerous by the day and put that above taking a taxpayer-funded vacation to watch cars racing. But hey, something, make America great again. Second of all, isn't the mission of this administration to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse? Anyone know what it cost the President of the United States and his cabinet to do a flyover at the Daytona 500? It is hundreds of thousands of dollars at least in fuel and security and delays. All the while, we're supposed to be thanking this White House for slashing Medicaid benefits to pay for all this stuff? Got it. And to that point, I've got to ask, will Sean Duffy be reimbursing taxpayers for using government-funded travel to fly to the Daytona 500? Because here's what Fox's Brett Baer said to Pete Buttigieg almost exactly 2 years ago.
You also brought your husband, Chasten, on a military aircraft to attend a sporting event in Netherlands. Was that
That's quite a spin to put on.
No. But was that reimbursed? Because that was one of the controversies with price.
I led a presidential delegation to support American wounded warriors and injured service members, the Invictus Games, as has been tradition for many years. I led the American delegation as one of the great honors of my time in this job. And the diplomatic protocol on a presidential delegation is that the principal is often accompanied by their spouse. It was a great trip. It was incredible. It was also a few weeks into the Ukraine war. So we had a chance at the U.S. Embassy to engage with the Ukrainian competitors, also wounded service members. Some of them went from the games.
Let's look at the headline. Buttigieg ripped for private jet travel. No, that should be the other way around. Brent, whatever the freak his name is, was ripped. Because it's Brent Baer. We got to make it a normal thing to do just what Buttigieg is doing right now, is ripping into Fox News. I want Fox News to be gone. That is one of my desires, is to just have them as one less network online or in existence. I want it gone. I want Fox News and all the people that work there that know better. They know better. And yet they carry the lies and the water of Donald Trump. So all of them deserve the same fate that he's going to get: embarrassment and total disaster and total failure. So I'm looking forward to that. I ain't making no bones about it. That's not even wishing bad on your enemy. That's just looking to the reward of the wicked. They like to talk about the Bible. That's in the Bible. Only with mine eyes will I behold and see the reward of the wicked. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the day when Fox News is going to be up there. This is my last broadcast. Signing off. It's been a pleasure. No, it hasn't. I don't want to see you no more. Kick rocks. Get the fuck off my hair. That's what I want to do. I want to see them gone. No more Fox News. Toodles. Anyway, let's look what Pete tells him.
Back to the battlefield to fight for their country. I also took the opportunity to sit with the Prime Minister of the Netherlands to look at port infrastructure, Dutch port infrastructure. But here's what I want you to understand. Mm-hmm. Before me, it was the Secretary of the Army under President Trump who took that trip with his wife. Before that, it was Mrs. Trump as First Lady.
And I hope the Democrats are watching this. This is an excellent lesson in how to get online, use your time wisely, be precise with what you want to say, and put these people back in their place.
Who went to the Invictus Games. Before that, Mrs. Obama did the same thing.
Sure.
And I guess the question on my mind is, if no one's raising questions about why Secretary Esper and his wife led that delegation, and as well they should have, then why is it any different when it's me and my husband?
Understood.
See, like, he shouldn't have just let him say understood. No, you don't understand, Brent. No, you don't understand. So you see, the heading again is all wrong. He was the one that got ripped. This guy right here, you see his face? You see him? He's trying to recover. There is no recovery for this guy. He just handed you your ass, buddy.
So I'm curious, will Brett Baer ask the same thing of Sean Duffy now? Do we pay taxes so that Trump and his buddies can go on little vacations for free? And should they be vacationing when planes can't seem to stay in the sky? Sure is weird that Pete took so much heat when there was never a problem with aviation safety, and yet now that aviation safety is a disaster, Fox and its hosts don't seem to be all that concerned. Truly one of life's great mysteries. But hey, with all of that said, I think Secretary Duffy finally has a handle on things. He took to Twitter, writing, "America deserves safe, state-of-the-art travel, and President Trump has ordered that I deliver a new world-class air traffic control system that will be the envy of the world. To do that, I need advice from the brightest minds in America."
Yeah, now he's begging for help. Yada, yada, yada. So anyway, he'll probably try to hire Elon. They're going to make it disaster again, and it's going to be televised. I think that's all I'm going to watch of this particular video. It's some more, but I don't want to talk about this no more. It was only 9 minutes, and I done drug it out to 38. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll have links to this video inside of the description. And stay tuned for the next one. Peace.